Social Science Scholars is a remarkable program that is, to my mind, the crown jewel of what the college calls its Get More Than a Degree initiative, because we identify future leaders, and I really do mean that, future leaders, the best of our best students, and we identify them as juniors, and we provide them extra coursework, extra funding, extra outside the classroom experiences to grow their own personal skills, but also their leadership skills. And these students will become graduates, and they will go on to be elected officials. They will start companies. They will work in nonprofits in Florida, in the United States, and around the globe.
There's only a finite amount of information that you can learn from academia, but I think the most valuable information that you can get is something that's tactile, something that's tangible, something that's also practical, pragmatic. So being exposed in that environment in an international law firm is definitely something that's beneficial to my career, personal development, professional development, and academic purposes. It's all beneficial.
I'm planning on going out to California with their California Office of Emergency Services, and the experience so far in emailing with them and talking to them has been extremely enlightening, and I'm super excited for what it's going to bring, and it would not have been possible without the funding, but also the mentorship and the relationships that I've built over the course of this program. So I'm extremely grateful.
This summer I'm planning to go to Europe, specifically Sweden and France, to conduct research for my upcoming honors thesis on human trafficking. For me, this is a really amazing opportunity that I don't think I would have had this had it not been for Social Science Scholars. Having the support and feedback to plan a project like this, that means so much to me in my future career.
I personally am going to be heading to Washington, D.C. this summer, where I will be interning at a program called Running Start. They train high school women to run for office once they graduate from high school. So it's really in line with my beliefs. I'm really passionate about women in politics. So Social Science Scholars will be allowing me to actually experience that firsthand.
I've already gotten a lot out of it throughout the leadership course. I've learned from areas that I didn't expect to learn from. I did expect to learn from my professors from the course, but I've learned from the application process itself and from my peers very much. Every class period, every interaction, we're growing together.
Social Science Scholars could not succeed without the wonderful support of a whole host of wonderful donors to the college. Social Science Scholars, every one of you, is supported by a donor that provides resources, financial resources to the college to support your project, your opportunity to study abroad, to go to D.C. on an internship, to be in Sacramento, to travel to Paris and to Stockholm. These are a few of the stories I've heard tonight from some of the students that I've talked to.
Early on, during my tenure as dean, we decided to have an orientation for encouraging students to get more than a degree. And it turns out that Social Science Scholars was kind of the pinnacle of that initiative. I worked with John Mayo to design this program, and I think it's sort of the best thing I did as dean. And since I was so fond of the program, I became a donor to the program as well.
I think the program's important for the fact of you're trying to connect the passion he has and a funding mechanism that we have. And we were able to connect that ability, and he has to plan a project, he has to manage the project, he has to find results for the project. I think that's important. That's a good learning experience, because I was talking to him about the allocation of money and how do you really know how much you're going to allocate for the trip and things like that. I think that's going to teach a lot, because we do this all in our daily lives, and I think this is one way to find a project and actually figure out the results that you're going to look for.
Joan has just been awarded a National Science Foundation grant to attend the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. And so that's just one example of the kinds of wonderful things that happen with the scholars who graduate from this program.
The program, without a doubt, reflects what we want and value within the university. This program is a program whose students combine deep intellectual prowess. I think that's very clear from hearing from the students tonight, but a drive to contribute to others in the world. It's a program whose students work together, and as you can tell from such a boisterous collaborative spirit, that's true, and across multiple disciplines to explore some of the major challenges guided by some key faculty and how we can use our resources to address them. It's also a program that pushes students to ask very deep questions, deeper questions they may have asked before, about themselves and also about the world around them, and to use research and inquiry to help find some answers.
I've had an interest in public health since my time here at FSU, and Tallahassee is not necessarily a healthcare center, a big healthcare conglomerate here. So the experiences through this program allowed me to go elsewhere and get experiences that are going to make me a much better medical school applicant, much better medical student, and ultimately a better physician.
This project that I did through Social Science Scholars that took place in Brazil and dealt with Maroon communities and Black identities set the base for my Fulbright Award grant, which I was just awarded last week. So on the whole, Social Science Scholars basically provided me a testing field to test out different ideas, research ideas, explore those ideas, and then build myself up to apply to other fellowships and grant opportunities. And moreover, it gave me the language and the skills to pursue the internship that I just got, which is in DC. So it really just set the base for my professional and academic career.
Well, I am a first-gen student, right? So I think it's important that others know that these things are feasible, right? If you're not if your parents aren't college educated, if you're, not from, a rich community or a rich background, it's still feasible. So I think it's important in that respect, for others to know, hey, yeah, you look like me, and yeah, you can do this too.